All right, quarter one of 2021 for Nexon. Let's just have a peek and pretend like we know what's going on. Like we know. Let's pretend like we have any kind of idea what we're going to be looking at. Okay. But basically, we're looking at, is Nexon doing well? Is it doing poorly? You know, can we see similar things like the impact that it had on KMS? Probably not, at least not as extreme. For some reason, Kart Rider is on the main menu. I didn't even know that game was still running. But okay. Delivered strong Q1, cool. Up 7% as reported, up 3% in constant currency. Driven by the strength of virtual worlds. Is that a thing? Virtual worlds offer long-term revenue growth. Study of nonlinear growth over years and decades. Nexon is uniquely advantage with teams experienced in building and growing virtual worlds. I wonder what they mean by this. Preparing launches of new virtual worlds like Mobile Dungeons & Fighter, Kart Rider Drift, and new games from our Embark Studios. Do they just mean IPs? Like games within existing IPs or something? Is that what they mean with virtual world? Near-term trends affected by several factors. Lapping the success of 2020 will be challenging. Yeah, 2020 was a crazy year, right? Anticipate short-term declines as the world exits the pandemic. Depending on the region and game, committed to providing greater transparency on value probabilities for in-game purchases. This is like a golden opportunity for games in general to create desire and progress and customs and habits into the players at a certain pace, and then, you know, capitalizing, as all game companies do, of course, on the sunk cost fallacies and on the the FOMOs, right, that come with having spent a bunch of time now playing a video game and then wanting that progress to keep, that invested time and money, right, to want that to keep bearing fruits in the future. That is like the challenge I think that most video games have right now, to make that happen, to make it so that everyone wants to keep playing their game, probably a little bit less, you know, than during 2020, but there are talks of maybe, you know, countries opening up and getting overzealous in 2021. Now in the summer, and then maybe having to close down again completely by the end of 2021, and that we are looking at like a 2022 summer before we will be hopefully like past the worst part. We'll have to see with international travel and all that. CFO highlights, Chief Financial Officer, right? Results. Result highlights. It's always in yen. Revenue as planned. Year-over-year growth driven by strength of major franchises. In line with expectations, outperformance in China, North America, and Europe, and the rest of the world was offset by below guidance growth in Korea. Yeah, way below probably, right? I don't think they were expecting quite how big the fallout was going to be. Do they have any numbers for Korea here? Oh, here. Operating income exceeded our outlook, primarily driven by lower than planned costs, including payment gateway fee and marketing expenses. The stimmies! Not as much lower marketing costs, and the stimmies helped them out. Exceeded outlook, primarily driven by 18.1 billion yen FX gain on US dollar denominated cash deposits. Wait, they have like investment profits because of holding foreign currency? Am I reading that right? FX in a video game thing makes you think of effects, but okay. Revenues, expecting that to go up. Based on 2020, they were expecting it to... Okay, they almost hit like the max of what they were looking for. 7% gain. Operating income, net income. Mobile. Mobile grew 32%. Jesus. And PC grew slightly, even though they were expecting it to decline. Operating income was quite a bit higher than they expect. Net income was way higher than they expected. Still lower than what it was, but way higher than they... Wait, why did they think the net income was gonna almost get cut in half versus last year? I wonder what they based this on. Maybe it was only a profit because the dollar grew compared to the yen? Yeah, maybe. I mean, net income has like thousands of things underneath it, right? Yeah, maybe maybe they only went plus because their investments in the yen were positive. It's kind of crazy. Exchange rates. 100 Korean won for to Japan yen, 9.15. They were expecting that to be 9.45, was 9.52. CNY. Is it Chinese yuan? Japanese yen? That went to 16.33, so that was a 5% increase. And then USD to Japanese yen, they're expecting it to go down. So this didn't go down as much as they thought, and both of these went up a little bit more than they thought. I mean, this would only compensate for this if they had a lot of money. I mean, 18.1 billion. Yeah, I guess that just... It went down? Yeah, but they took that into account, right? They were expecting it to go down. But I think because the dollar went down compared to the yen, but they have a bunch of yen, that's what made them like cancel out their losses on the game. Love the hair, man. Thank you, dude. I love it too. I love this, dude. Look at that. It's gonna... Like, when it's gonna touch the headphones, we're just gonna do this, look. There we go. I'm just gonna place the headphone slightly further on my head until eventually it's like this. It's going like the opposite way of the Star Trek, dude. Nexon reports and stores their meso in yen and not won. I think they have a bunch. I think they have won, yen, yuan, and dollars probably. It's been going up. I think as currency exchange rates change, I think companies buy and sell currency quite a lot. 18 billion yen is $165 million. Well, it isn't, right? It's 18 billion yen. That's the whole point. Because if it was $165 billion, they would have... Their main chair is in Tokyo, I believe. Since video moved the skit around gambling laws in Korea or something. Oh, did they change a little bit? Revenue breakdown. Okay, where are we at? So, Korea. Revenue by region. Wait, so it... Korea still went up this much? Korea still grew 26% based on last year, despite all of the memes. China went 23% smaller. What happened there? Japan doubled. Yo, what's going on in JMS? 116% increase. And North America, EU, 16% increase. What, JMS is like 2/3 their size now? I mean, like, you know, money-wise. Look at how China is like almost the biggest market as Korea at this point. Well, I mean, now it's half, but like last year was almost as big as Korea. Now it's half that of Korea. That's a big change. But yeah, so this is why KMS balances for them and not for us, okay? Because they're 10 times our size. And they still grew more, like second most. Huh. Nexon total. So Genshin? You think Genshin took like a huge part of the China market, you think? Revenue per platform. Well, mobile grew 32% down. Genshin is gigantic? Okay. CMS must take a huge cut of the income. Yeah, but well, you want to invest a lot of money in China, right? Because you see, like, there's just so many people there. Like, China's still 30% of the revenue in Q1. We're just 5% in North America and Europe to combine. Genshin players need something to do when the resin runs out. Yeah, they're just waiting for the new champs to come out. Korea, China highlights. MapleStory grew year driven by the well-received winter update while underperforming in the latter part of the quarter. Please see the next page for more details. FIFA Online 4 grew year driven by the well-received Lunar New Year package offerings and promotions. Dungeon Fighter plus 13%, Sudden Attack plus 56%. FIFA Online 4, they also own. That's also theirs? Okay. Mobile revenues increased by 42%. Strong contributions for the Kingdom of the Winds, Yeon, Kart Rider Rush, and FIFA Mobile. MapleStory M grew 69% year to year. Wow. I can't imagine playing MapleStory on mobile. I mean, I guess if you want to play within the MapleStory IP and you're just constantly on the move, that's the only thing you can do. That's crazy that grew 70%. That's really big. China exceeded outlook primarily driven by Dungeon Fighter. Up here, quarter decreased due to waning effect of Lunar New Year update. RIP. Paying users remained flat as core paying users continue to stay in the game. Number of paying users in Q1 was higher than our expectation, which led to slight revenue outperformance. Our ARPPU, what is that? Is it return per... Average revenue per user and average revenue per paying user. Okay. And revenue increased due to typical seasonality. Yeah, typical seasonality. Yeah. But that's quarter to quarter. That's why they compare year to year typically, right? For a lot of things, because quarter to quarter there's going to be those fluctuations because of summer and winter updates and Lunar New Year stuff. You know, that kind of thing. Am I even in MapleStory right now? I'm not. Amazon paying user decreased. MAU? What is MAU? God damn it. Media attachment unit? That's probably not it. Multi-attribute utility? Monthly active users. Okay. And paying users decreased due to reduced user engagement as well as strengthened bot sanctions. Okay. Year-to-year revenue decreased due to decreased in active users and paying users. What up, MapleStory? How you doing? Yeah? You gonna sneeze? Is that what you're gonna do? Excuse me. Improving communication and transparency. Well, I think that helped. Masta. We're still at 0 dropped. We're a little bit below now. Oh, and just as I looked over, we dipped into yellow, but it just flexibly went down. I'm trying to get 4.5 now, and now we're just stuck at 3 the whole time. Wait, is it being okay with 3 now? I think that's still gonna be detrimental to the quality overall. It always tries to bring it up as high as it can towards the number, right? Dude, the box is doing all kind of colors. Bless you, thank you. Appreciate that. Flames greater than quality. Yeah, I just kind of sucks that I'm stuck at like 3.6 now, but whatever. In late February, MapleStory players pointed out that the information available on our game, including probabilities associated with unlocking valuable items, was not clear enough, and that there was a lack of communication related to this number of active users, which just said high subscription decline beginning in February. We have addressed this issue and announced the policy to improve communication. Yeah, we read all of this, right? Now plan to disclose probabilities for all the paid probability-based items. Arrange a meeting to receive feedback from key players. Remain committed to ongoing improvements and transparency and recommendations. Further assurance of fairness to players. Q1 to Japan, North America, YouTube. Rest of the world had. I don't know how I read YouTube there whatsoever. I saw the Y and it's like boom, YouTube. Japan results as planned. Revenue grew over 2x. It didn't grow over 2x, guys. It became 2x. Grow means get bigger than. If you grow over 2x, that means you gain plus 200%. It's incorrect language here. Do I have to remind over double? That is possible, but you can say grow over double, right, guys? We're on the same page here. You understand what I'm saying? That's from Blue Archive, which launched in Q1, as well as V4. Oh, that was a thing that I saw. FIFA Mobile and Traha. I don't know what Traha is. FIFA Mobile, I can imagine. It's probably FIFA on mobile. I'm not that boomer, but MapleStory revenue grew 37% year to year. It's big. Overall, though, they're pretty similar. North America, that's in Japan. North America and Europe exceeded outlook driven by MapleStory and MapleStory M. Both MapleStory and MapleStory M revenue grew 136% and 78% year to year, respectively. Benefit from Card Rider Rush and V4. So, wait, year to year change. Yeah. Yeah, so first quarter is usually the worst quarter. Look at the PC revenue, dude, from $932 to $1399. 136% growth in MapleStory. That's crazy. That's insane. But it only kind of also shows how volatile it is, right? And what kind of room for growth there actually exists there that they can capitalize on. That's kind of crazy, right? Rest of the world exceeded outlook driven by MapleStory. Revenue grew to 90%. Rest of world. So this, wait, what is rest of world? That's just Maple C and TMS? Or is there anything else in there? There's just Maple C and TMS, right? Whether mobile actually shrunk. 1775 here to 2625. Jesus. It was all because of me? I mean, I can imagine that content creators over the internet contribute in some part, but I mean, I think it's pretty impossible to think like I was this percent of of anything. Q2 2021 financial outlook. Okay. So they're still expecting it to be lower than last year. I think they should expect mobile to be bigger than... I don't know why they're expecting mobile to be smaller than last. Maybe... well, last year was very, very good, so they're not expecting it to do as well as last year, because last year was an exceptionally good year. And they're already bracing for losses this year, but it's actually going up in a lot of places. But you want to be pretty careful with how much you think it's going to go up, even if you want it to go up, right? because you have to, you deal with like, oh, it's going up, which means you need more customer support, which means you need more, you need to hire more people, which means you get more costs, which means blah, 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 right? And if you start hiring people to cover all of the extra stuff that you think you're going to need because of the increased player base, and then it doesn't happen, you have to start laying off people again. It's a huge fucking hassle. So you always want to be super careful with these outlooks and with these projections. Operating income, they were expecting it to be half of last year. Jesus. And the net income to be around half as well. Earnings per share was 22. Oh, Jesus. FX rate. This FX stands for like foreign currency or something? Oh. Principal exchange rates. Is that what it stands for? Or was it just like the function FX, like f of x? Hiring customer support, that's what interns are for? Well, you do have, of course there are buffers for this, right? You do have, what's it called? You outsource that right to a company and be like, hey, we need you. And then they just bill you depending on how much customer support you end up doing. Forex, oh, right. Yeah, okay, I've heard of that before. Okay. Oh, they're still comparing to the stale numbers, of course. Right. But this is a little bit weird, the 11 and the 10%, because they should be kind of comparing these numbers to these numbers here, right? So they're expecting to go from 950 to 977, 1633 to 1672, and then 105.90 to 108.70. They're expecting that to bounce back. Is the dollar because the dollar is bouncing back again? It's 100 and wait, right now it's already 109.38. Holy shit. Oh, wow. Wait, so year to year it was 107. It dipped all the way down to 103, 102. And now it's back at 109. It peaked at 111 almost. Okay. Dropping frames again? Nope, I've dropped 0. Dropped 0 on my side. It's like magic. That this one OBS setting will shock you. It's possible though that the quality dipped a bit, but the quality is dynamic now. So if my frames are going to drop, instead it just drops the quality a bit. Oh yeah, has he been has he been there for a long time already? When do I have my session? Oh, like 2 hours ago. Okay, interesting. Okay. Korea and China outlook. I guess they were hoping that Korea grows a whole bunch. High end, low end. Well, China's been declining a lot, so that's probably fine. I'm expecting it to stay roughly similar to Q2 of 2021. MapleStory expected to decrease year-to-year comparison with 151% year-to-year growth in Q2 2020 on a constant currency basis. Dungeon and Fighter expected to decrease year-to-year due to tough comps in last Q2. FIFA Online 4 Sun Attack expected to increase. And mobile expected to be roughly flat. Okay. Expect a year-to-year decrease in choices. Is that a game? Choices? Stories You Play is a story-driven game where players can immerse themselves in romantic adventures, fantasy epics, medical mysteries, and more. Wait, what? What is it? Well, okay, I have no idea what that is. They're expecting a decrease in choices. Okay. MapleStory revenue to be flat-ish year to year on top of 173rd. They're expecting it to stay flat. It's up. Okay. Rest of the world expecting a decline from Cartrider Rush and V4. Right. Launched in Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau. MapleStory's revenue to slightly increase year to year on top of the 270% year to year growth. Okay. Average income and cost outlook. Decrease revenues, decrease HR costs. Increased HR costs. Increased stock option costs. Introduction of the new compensation policy in Korea. Yep. Increased outsourcing costs. Decreased marketing costs. Expected decreased new title launches. Include increased cloud service fees. Increased royalty costs. Decreased PG fees. Okay. Challenge Dungeon Fighter update schedule. Where's our MapleStory update? Where's our MapleStory update schedule? Level cap release, Labor Day. Level cap release. No level cap. But that's only for Dungeon Fighter. Rip it. For Chinese Dungeon Fighter. Why doesn't this exist for MapleStory? Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world. Fantastic days. why do you have titles like that? Dynasty Warriors 9 mobile. Oh god. Financials. I think we went over most of that. COGS and SG&A. Okay, a lot of abbreviations here. P&L below operating income. Cash flow statement. Balance sheet. Non-current assets are no kind of that. Total assets up 70 million yen. 70 billion yen, my bad. Current liabilities, current tax liabilities, whoa. 23 billion yen. Others, 63, so like 20 bucks? I'm not sure. It was like 108 per dollar, right? Total liabilities, shareholders' equity, treasury shares, retained earnings. Oh, do you think? Oh, on March 31st, this is probably very different now because they invested a bunch in Bitcoin, didn't they? And our boy Elon. Our boy Elon said that he's no longer taking Bitcoin for the cars. When did he say that? Or was that around here? Went from 52,000 euros per Bitcoin. Went down 22% in a month. Yikes. Even in the last 5 days, it went down 5%. Ooh, that shit is volatile. Okay. Okay, interesting. Alright, I put links to it on historical financials. Key titles by region. Korea, MapleStory. But Dungeon Fighter is Kingdom of the Winds Yeon. So Dungeon Fighter is only the 5th biggest Nexon game in Korea even. MapleStory M is bigger than Mabinogi. Yeah. Blue Archive is the biggest in Japan. No way. Never could have seen that coming. Wait, North America and Europe choices stories you play is bigger than MapleStory? Wait, I've never heard of this before. The fuck is choices? I don't know. We just saw that for the first time today. Apparently it's bigger than MapleStory though. In NA and in Europe. I just... Okay. Rest of World MapleStory #1. Nice. It's a shitty mobile game. Okay. I mean, yeah, it says mobile right here, but I never heard of it. I don't do mobile gaming though, right? Nexon IP. Dungeon Fighter launched 2005. Over 700 million registered users. And communities. Crazy. Easy to learn, hard to master, accessibility, action pack. Okay. MapleStory franchise LTD overview. Over 180 million registered users worldwide. Player registration equal to 45% of Korean population. But, I mean, but it's across the world though. Live to date franchise revenue over 3 billion USD. Wait, Dungeon Fighter Online has made 5 times the amount of MapleStory? Really? Damn. You don't hard RPG cross-cultural. I mean, you mean an MSORPG? Cross-cultural appeal has been growing. Players in over 15 years. Yeah, look at this, dude. You know what this reminds me of? Oh no, you know what this tracks almost completely? And Korea MapleStory M is Kart Rider, launched in 2004. That's 380 million. Over half of all of Korean population, over 45% of Taiwanese population has played the game. That is crazy. If like over half the people in a country have like tried it. The Kingdom of the Winds franchise. Oh, this launched in 96? I've never heard of this. Only 26 million registered. World's longest running graphic MMORPG over 25 year service period. Jesus. Mobile version launched on July 15, 2020. Highest ranking #1 on iOS and #2 on iOS. Originally based on historical comic about the Goguryeo dynasty. Is this a Club Penguin? Feudal Club Penguin? But yeah, you know you know what this looks like? Looks a little bit like this. See the resemblance? It's almost like my viewer numbers are like completely tracking the Korean MapleStory popularity. That's weird. I wonder how many other things in the world like track that exact Scardor carrying KMS. Basic.